Hello, I'm Vojtěch Mužík, a journalism student at Charles University. Today I am joined by the veteran voice of the Octagon, none other than Mr. Bruce Buffer. Bruce, thank you for joining me.
Very nice to meet you, Wojciech. Very nice to meet
Uh,
you.
to start off, I have to congratulate you on your fantastic eighth place finish at the World Series of Poker High Roller last year.
Thank you.
But you haven't been active since. Do you plan returning soon to the tables, or has the UFC schedule made it impossible?
The UFC schedule makes it very difficult for me, but I am looking forward to playing hopefully next year because I want to go back and repeat my performance and get and win a bracelet. So that's my goal.
Okay, that seems like a lot. So hopefully you will reach it. Speaking of high stakes, we often hear about professional athletes insuring their legs for millions, especially footballers. Your voice is your instrument. Uh, do you have a specific insurance for your voice to protect your vocal cords?
No, I just take care of my voice. I don't have any insurance on my vocal cords. Um, some people do that, but it's not really needed. And it's like I don't plan on getting sick.
Okay. I read that you view your body as a machine. What is one specific biohack or recovery habit you've added to your routine in the last couple of years that you wish you had started 20 years ago?
Cold plunging.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
otherwise I'm very healthy. I take care of myself. Vitamin supplements, eat properly, get plenty of sleep, do everything I normally do. The only thing I've really added in the last few years is cold plunging, which really helps the body a lot.
okay. Let's step inside the octagon. You stand inches away from these fighters right before the war starts. Do you ever look into a fighter's eyes during the introduction and intuitively sense that they are like off or nervous? And can you tell that they are going sometimes to lose just by looking at them?
It's a good question. And the answer is I always look into the fighter's eyes. When I'm announcing them, I stare into their eyes. As long as we can make eye contact, I see them when they're stepping up to the referee before they walk in the octagon. I can see everything, sense fear, um, which is the toughest fighters in the world are scared before a fight starts. Tito Ortiz, an old time UFC fighter, used to throw up before every fight, and he admits it. George St. Pierre was scared before his fights. That's just a normal human reaction. But once the first punch is delivered or received, then the fight is on. Everything happens. But sometimes I can detect that they aren't quite there or they're there 1000%. You know,
Okay.
you can definitely tell looking in a fighter's eyes what's going on.
Yes. Sometimes you might score a fight for fighter A, or the fighter from blue corner in your head when you're watching the fight, but in these scorecards from the judges, the other fighter comes out on top. How do you manage your emotions when you are announcing the result that you might personally disagree with?
It's called a game face. I have to keep a game face on. I have to make sure that I do my job correctly and deliver the message. I'm the messenger. I can't get emotional. I can't get biased. I can't get opinionated. I'm there to do my job. Any other feelings I have are strictly kept within myself. And I've been very surprised by some of the judges' uh, reports.
Lately? Yeah. You famously reserved the introduction, the notorious, exclusively for Conor McGregor. Given his long layoff, do you believe we will ever hear you scream that phrase inside the octagon again?
The one, the only,
The
or the
notorious,
notorious.
the
Uh,
notorious, especially
I
for
think,
Conor.
yeah. Well, for Connor, that's his nickname, and if he comes back, it will probably be during the proposed White House show that's going to happen in June.
And do you think he can make it, or no? Giving his
Well,
recent form.
anything's possible with Connor. You know what Connor wants, Connor gets. But been a lot of talk for a few years, so we will see what happens. I'm as much in question as you are, but I do believe that he could step back in. Could he beat anybody in the top 10? That remains to be seen.
We are fastly approaching UFC 200, 323. Uh, if you had to pick just one specific matchup that you are personally most excited about, not just to call, but as a pure fan of the sport, which one would it be?
I think in the upcoming fight, I always love watching Merab fight. I think that's going to be a heck of a fight between him and Petr Yan. Another fight that's on that card that's going to be very good is Brandon Moreno and Tatsuro Taya. That's a fight that I'm looking forward to too. Joshua Van proved himself very strongly. The co-main event with Alejandro Pantoja and Joshua Van, Marab's fight and Brandon's fight. Those three fights are really key fights I'm looking forward to. And the last fight for Henry Cejudo, it's going to be his final fight in the octagon. So he's always been a huge fan favorite.
Okay. And lastly, if you could transport yourself through time to announce any historic event, which one would you choose?
Any fight ever?
Doesn't have to be fight, Super Bowl, anything. Any historic event.
An historic event. Interesting. That's actually a very good question. Wow. Never got asked that one before. Uh, my goal is to always be at the Super Bowl, right? I would love to announce the Super Bowl. I've done Super Bowl a week before the Super Bowl. I think when the Philadelphia Eagles won which is my favorite team, when they won the Super Bowl championship, I would have loved to have been there, you know, to announce them onto the field. But there's many, many different events, the World Cup finals, uh, a Muhammad Ali fight in the heyday of Muhammad Ali, that would have been an honor. Mike Tyson, one of his greatest fights. It's hard to say one fight in particular because there's so many events that I would love to have been part of.
Okay. Yeah. I think that will be all, Mr. Buffer. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and for inspiring us young people. It was an absolute honor to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you right now too, and it's an honor to meet a young man like yourself with your attitude and your positive energy. Um, it's not common these days. So keep being the role model that you are, and as I say in my podcast, be a role model to your sphere of influence because the world needs more people like you. And I really appreciate meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you making time for me.